All right, good morning, class. Today I'm here to talk to you about why I believe it's very important for us as Americans to know a second language other than just English, like most of us do. I'm just going to ask you a quick question. How many of you guys speak another language other than English? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, I thought it was very funny because I came across a joke that people make about Americans. It says, what do you call someone who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you speak someone who speaks 2 languages? A bilingual. And what do you speak someone who speaks 1 language? Any guess?
American.
An American. That's how the world sees Americans. Like, they don't want to learn a second language. We just think that the world should accommodate our needs, and we don't need to accommodate no one else's. But we have to understand that we do have to learn how to communicate with other people. And there's some, I put together some questions that people ask. Why should we as Americans worry about learning a foreign language? Why don't foreigners just learn English if they're the ones that want to do business with us or come over here and work? And what benefits do I have as an American in my community or in the U.S.? How am I going to use the foreign language? Well, I'm going to explain to you how it's going to benefit you if you learn a second language on a personal level, in the community, give you more job opportunities, and also if you like to go on mission trips. First of all, on a personal level, it takes people out of their mindsets of, people think that you don't understand someone from a different culture and you just assume stereotypes that people make out of them. But once you emerge into studying another culture and another language, you'll understand why people act certain ways. You'll understand why they do what they do, why their beliefs and everything. Your worldview will expand. You'll understand that there's a world out there other than ours, and there's other things, other people, other religions, other languages. It will make us put things into perspective and see how we can understand the whole world and how it revolves. In our community, learning a second language will increase your understanding and compassion for other cultures. They will become, as I said before, a good tool for fighting stereotypes and bigotry. For example, like when you go overseas or to Mexico or somewhere in the country, and you are turning around and maybe they don't speak English, but if you could at least have some words to share with them, they will appreciate that. And because they'll understand, hey, this guy wants to come here, and they try at least, no? And you can get around, like it says there, you're traveling for understanding street signs and menus and stuff like that. In your for job opportunities, have you guys heard the term globalization? How the world is shrinking and how we need to communicate with other cultures, other languages. And nowadays, like it says there, it's very important to have a second or third language on your resume, because that's what employers are looking for. They want someone that can communicate with more people other than just Americans, because we do business with China, Mexico, Brazil, so you have to be keeping up with the world and what it needs. Especially there's some careers where you need to communicate with clients from all over the world. And it's better for you to be able to communicate with them in their own language or to understand where they're coming from. It also shows your capacity to have the ability to learn new things, and you show to your employer that you want to keep up with new trends. How many of you guys have sold or bought something on eBay? It's something, and probably you buy something from overseas, or you send something overseas. I know I sent stuff to Sweden, Germany, so it's unbelievable because like, hey, I'm actually doing business with someone from a different continent. It's very interesting. So you see, guys, I mean, sometimes we don't see that, but there was someone that actually put it together, the eBay, in whatever language you're doing business with, as the one that we have in English. So someone got the job to translate the web page. So There's all kinds of job opportunities. And this is an area that the U.S. Is lacking, having second or third languages in comparison to the world. Just for example, in Western Europe, most of the people are fluent in 2 or more languages. Should American kids keep up with the rest with Western Europe? And I lived in Belgium for a while, and where I was living, they spoke Flemish. It's something like Dutch, and I couldn't. Right off the bat, I didn't know Flemish, but it helped me that most of the kids knew how to speak English, and that's how I was communicating with them. So that was a very, very good thing that they knew how to speak English and they could accommodate my needs. Okay, foreign languages in America. The U.S. Census Bureau has reported that 80% of the people in the states are fluent in English, 12% speak Spanish, and 4% speak either French, German, and Russian. So even within the U.S., not everyone speaks English. So sometimes, if you own a business, if you work for a store, you're going to sometimes have someone come in and speak Spanish and all that. If you know how to speak Spanish, that will help them out. And also, English is not the only language in the world. 14% of the world speaks Mandarin Chinese, 5% speak Spanish, and 4.9% speak English. So it's not the most powerful language in the world either. All right, and as you see, English is not the official language of the U.S. We are only the dark blue states that recognize English as their official language. The pink ones are bilingual, Spanish, French, Maine, Louisiana, and New Mexico. And the other ones don't have an official one. But I mean, technically it is English, but it's not in the Constitution. Also, if you guys like to go on mission trips, it's going to help you a lot to witness for Christ if you can actually understand and you can actually communicate with people what you're trying to get across. And even the apostles had to speak in tongues. Remember that passage that the Holy Spirit illuminated them and they could communicate with the rest of the world? So we have to communicate with the rest of the world. We have to keep up with those trends. All right, so in conclusion, we should learn second language to keep up with the world. It's very helpful for understanding our culture and behaviors. It can create more job opportunities and help you when you go on a mission trip to witness for Christ. Thank you for your time.